everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm your favorite life coach, Nikki. I wanted to do a video to go over 5 tips that you can do. Yes, 5 things that you can do to stay mentally sane during quarantine that everyone's been mandated depending on where you're at, or you're just doing it just to prevent yourself because of everything just being so crazy. So I'm not going to waste any time. You guys surely know the deal at this point. Make sure you have something to drink. Keep yourself hydrated, keep yourself going. I don't care what is in your cup, just as long as you respect what's in your cup and respect what's in mine, right? Okay, step number 1, turn off your phone, turn off the TV. We are being flooded. And I mean flooded, I'm saying that really freaking politely. We're being flooded with negative news and information and updates on a 24/7 basis, and it seems like no matter where it is that you go, you're still being bombarded with information. And even though having the up-to-date information is crucial so that you know how to adjust and protect yourself and or protect your family, but you have to have and give yourself a limit to keep yourself mentally sound. Because if you're constantly flooding yourself and giving yourself access to negative information or details, then it's naturally going to bring your mindset down. And then you start leading with increased anxiety, which is at this point kind of hard to avoid. But like the biggest thing that's within your control is giving yourself a time frame of getting up to date, whether you decide to do it in the morning or if you decide to do it at night. But don't do it throughout the day. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have YouTube. Positive updates, negative updates 24/7. Limit your intake. Protect your mindset. If you get to a point where you have mindlessly spent an hour, 2 or 3 hours just catching up on what's going on CNN or BBC on the TV, then you pick up your phone, and I have mine all the time. You go on Facebook, you have Instagram with live updates, and it can get really depressing when it comes to how fast it's spreading and who's getting the virus, or just the fear of there not being any tests. So if you start feeling or noticing that your mindset is changing, it's time to turn it off, put it away, and go do something else to protect your mindset. You are going to have updates available to you no matter what time of day that you go and choose to get updated. You just have to protect yourself by not getting updates 24/7 around the clock. You have other things to do, and you should. And if you don't, there are a couple things that you can do to start going through your day a little bit faster. Step number 2, if you catch yourself in a position where you notice your mindset changing, as I mentioned from step number 1 of turning off the news and media, start researching and really getting into mindless meditation. I was grateful to learn it when I started practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We used to do it, my instructor, Sifu, used to make us do it as soon as we finished working out, more as a cool off, but because you're working out so high, you have your heartbeat that's really pumping and you can feel your blood rushing. So after a really good workout, he would make us lay down with our legs and arms just spread out, and then because your heart is pumping so hard, it's easy to just tune into your heartbeat. And at that time, it kind of shuts off the thoughts that's going on in your head, and you're focusing on one thing, whether it's your breathing or it's your heartbeat. And what you can do, which feels really amazing, is after a really good workout where your heart is pumping, you know how you normally see the yoga people go, do that. It's a way of taking your mind off of what's going on and stopping the thoughts in your head. I like to call them negative Nancy thoughts. It's turning off the switch and allowing your brain to rest, your body to relax, and just give yourself a time to kind of reset your mindset to a healthier place, if that makes sense. And there's many other things that people do. You can go on a nature walk. Just make sure you keep your 4 to 6 distance between other people. But going for a walk, just noticing the flowers, just shutting off from social media, shutting off even from music, and just embracing nature. Just go and sit in silence for a while, and you'll be amazed at the benefits that you can reap from it, but also how fast your mindset can change from just taking a step back and focusing on something instead of the chaos of what's being portrayed everywhere else. Step number 3, we're on number 3 now, communication. If you are confined to a place with your significant other, or In some cases, your children. And then if you're really, really special, you have your significant other, you have your children, and then you have parents that are also in the household. If you have all these people that are in the house, you have to understand that people are having anxiety. It's really easy right now to get depressed because we don't have answers. And then on top of it, my dog is sleeping, sorry about that. And then on top of that, if people already have really shitty, poor communication skills, guess what? It's just gonna get worse because no one is getting outside and interacting with other people. This is time for you to go ahead and strengthen your communication skills. And the one thing that I can tell you with improving your communication skills is before you start the process of communicating with someone, check and see where your mindset is. If you already feel that you're frustrated, you're aggravated, and you're already on the edge, or you're not sleeping and all those other things, now is not the time for you to have that conversation. If you start having those conversations in a better place, you'll be surprised at how much of a difference it does in how you communicate, and not only the way that you communicate, but the way that it's received by the other person. Because if you come to someone else already frustrated, they're probably feeling the same way, if not worse. Their defensive mechanism goes up with the full wall, and guess what? Ain't nobody listening to anything that you're saying, which then leads into a full-blown argument. And there's not that much space. So try to avoid the arguments by improving your communication skills. Step number 4, treat yourself. Everything that you used to do before being quarantined, you can still do, just change the way that you do it. If like for example, if doing your makeup makes you happy and you used to do that before you used to leave the house to go out to work, still do that. Getting dressed up, if you just want to feel really good, reflect how you feel by dressing. And sometimes some people are affected by dressing really good. They call it dress for success. Dress up, even if you're home, it makes you feel good. It gives you a sense of comfort of what your schedule used to be, and it improves your mindset. If something that you used to do, going to a spa, and you can't do that, I know I got a boatload of stuff at my place. Do that little facial mask that you've been avoiding. You know what I mean? Cut up some cucumbers, put them on your eyes, do something that makes you feel good. And even though another thing that people do is emotional eating and having those snacks, this one is like a little catch-22. Enjoy your snacks, but do it in moderation, because now that we're not really able to do too much activity because we're all being confined to our residencies, nobody wants the coronavirus weight that's going to start packing up instead of like the freshman 15. So just be mindful of your food choices, but do something that makes you happy. If there's a song that picks up your spirit or gives you a really good reminder of a memory, play that music. If dancing is something that makes you feel really good, dance. You could do it in your room, blast the music up. You can even do it with your kids. It's taking them away and changing your mindset so that you were able to get through the day versus sitting in a negative mindset. Your day will go by a little bit smoother by just incorporating something that makes you happy. It's up to you to really decide what that is and then to actually enforce it. And then number 5, this one may be a little controversial because have sex. Have sex. Sex releases endorphins. Now, I'm not saying have a whole bunch of unprotected sex, because we don't need babies popping up in November by the end of the year, which may happen because everybody's doing it anyway. But have sex. If you don't have sex with, if you can't have sex with someone that's there with you, if you're not with your significant other, I'm sure everybody has a little something in the little drawer. Do something that makes you feel good, and that's scientific. It releases endorphins, and then on top of that, you'll sleep like a baby. So this is the 5 steps from your favorite life coach, Nikki, to stay sane during the coronavirus outbreak. I hope everyone is prepared. I hope that you guys are okay. And if I can leave you with one thing that has got me through so much stuff, it's just, if you get to a point of feeling overwhelmed or if you feel stressed, and you get to a point where you start thinking of every problem. You got this issue, and you just start listing it, and it's going back and forth in your mind. Looking at everything as a whole is naturally going to make you stop. And when you get to the point of just stopping, it's the feeling of shutting down. It's not a healthy place to be in. And the one tip that I would tell you, the little mantra that I had, was one step at a time. Because when you start getting things done off of that really long list that you developed, then you naturally start feeling good, and you can see the end of the tunnel, where it is that you need to get to. But if you try to figure out a solution to all of your problems at this moment, one, you're not going to get anything done, because you're going to be so mentally and emotionally drained before you even begin, that when you try it and it doesn't go right, it's going to immediately feel like you should quit and take a step back. So remember, one step at a time, one day at a time. If shit gets really, really bad, 1 hour at a time. Adjust it to what it is that you're going through to bring you comfort. But the reason why that one thing is so important is because it's one step. It's still making progress. It's not saying for you to stop. So drop down in the comments and let me know. Ladies, go ahead and check in a little drawer when the sun goes down, or if you are living by yourself, you can do whatever it is that you choose. But the most important thing is make sure that you are taking care of yourself through this, because everyone's going to be challenged in ways that they never thought they were. And if anything, if you need more one-on-one support, you can go to my website, and I'll drop it down here below at stepsinlife.co. You could book an appointment, and I am a virtual life coach, so we can have a full conversation over the phone. We can do Zoom, and we can get you set up so you have face-to-face. But let me know in the comments about this video, how you felt about it. And also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video if you can. And be safe, and I'll have another 5-tip video coming soon. Take care. And you can't stop dancing, because I love to dance. And you know, you do little steps in life, steps in life, steps in life. Toodles.